Hello everyone, CmeeCraft here, and welcome to another first look video. Today we're taking a look at a visual novel, which I guess is the norm these days. Koi ni kanmi wo seete. Probably not how you pronounce that. On Steam it's called Love Sweet Varnish, or not Varnish, Love Sweet Garnish. Which, with a name like that, I presume it's a romantic visual novel of some type, probably featuring these girls here. And yeah, it seemed somewhat interesting. So let's take a look at it. Spring vacation. It's the time of year where both excitement and worry for a brand new life come to a peak. I've moved out from the family house in the city, and now my body gently rocks as I ride the express bus. My reason for moving was simple. When my father was relocated for work overseas, I decided against going with my parents and decided to go live with my grandmother. Oh, okay. Interesting note, on this game, spacebar is the hide the text button instead of the just move the plot forward button. Good to know. At the very least, my father's work contract would last for around 2 or 3 years. I don't want to be away from Japan that long, and rather than follow my parents to a foreign country that we're not used to, I felt it would be better living at my grandmother's house. My little sister decided to go with my parents, though. Of course, there are other reasons as to why I decided to live with my grandma, but for now, I feel like I still can't clearly say why. Just felt right, you know? In the blink of an eye, the overnight express bus arrives in Hanaosaka. Okay. The town where my grandma lives. I slept through the trip, so the bus ride felt as if it took no time at all. Even so, my body had tensed up and become sore all over after being confined to the tiny bus seat. I reminisce a bit as I stretch. When I was little, I would come here to play quite often, but after my father's work picked up, I hadn't been able to visit my grandma much. I always meant to come here on my own, so maybe that's why I'm here now. I really do love my grandma, as well as this town. It's a bit different compared to back then, but looking around at it now, still feels very nostalgic. Now that I think of it, I feel like I've walked around this area with my mother and someone else before. Maybe it's just my imagination, but I do feel like I remember something like that. Having a fuzzy memory or not being able to remember things properly happens quite often for me. Maybe after living here for a bit, the memories will come back. With that on my mind, I get off the bus and start walking towards my destination, with the simple map my father gave me in hand. Oh, here it is. As I walk around looking at my map, I find the building I'm searching for. Remembering back to my childhood memories, and from what I had heard from my parents, I'm certain this is the place. It's the cafe my grandma ran, Milk Hall Caramella. On the first floor is the cafe, and the second floor is where my grandma lives. The house next door is also attached to the cafe. Its first floor is a normal living space, but it also has a kitchen and break space for cafe staff. Also on the second floor is the room that used to be my father's. Looking at the building brings back memories. I had been here many times before as a child, but to see it hasn't changed at all since then makes me somewhat happy. Currently the cafe has a sign saying, "Closed temporarily," My grandma collapsed just recently and hasn't been able to run it anymore.
あれそこの君、ちょっといい
Oh, what have we here? Hey you, do you have a second? Oh, sorry, I'm in the way, aren't I? Just standing here. I'm suddenly called out to as I stare at the closed sign. I turn around to see a beautiful girl standing there. She has a slightly grown-up, soft air to her. I can't help but feel like I know her from somewhere.
ううん、違うの。邪魔なんじゃなくて、君ってもしかして。
Oh no, you're not in my way. Are you possibly...
ああ、やっぱりそうだわ。その顔、見覚えがあると思ったの。朝輝くんよね。
Ah, it really is you. I thought I remembered that face. Asakai-kun, right? Huh? I am Asakai Ogisawa. But who are you?
お姉さんだなんて、そんな風に呼ばれるのもいいわね。なんて、浸ってる場合じゃないか。
I'm your older sister. Just kidding. It wouldn't be bad if you called me that, though. But this isn't the time to be teasing you.
私のこと覚えてないかな。昔このお店によく遊びに来てたんだけど。
Do you remember me? I used to come and play at this cafe pretty often. Let's see. Oh, are you Big Sis? Chisato, I mean. Chisato-san?
正解。昔みたいに千里ねえって呼んでくれていいのに。
That's correct. You're more than welcome to call me Big Sis Chisato, just like old times, you know. I just called you that while I was caught up in my memories, so I'm not a kid anymore, so it's a bit embarrassing to call you Big Sis.
そう？まあ残念だけど一理あるわね。久しぶりに会ったらこんなに大きくなっちゃって。
Really? That's a bit disappointing, but I get it. You've grown up so much since I last saw you. Chisato has been beaming ever since meeting me again. Seeing her smile reminds me of the time we spent together. Chisato was a regular at my grandma's cafe, but last time I saw her, I was still in middle school. You said you were going to go study to be a chef, so I thought you wouldn't be living here anymore, Chisato-san.
ああ、そういえばそんな話もしたっけ？
Oh, that's right. I did talk about that back then.
一応ね、1年くらいは都心で働いてたんだけど、なんだかホームシックみたいになっちゃって、それでこっちに帰ってきちゃった。
I did go to the city and work for around a year, but I got homesick. Ended up coming back home. I see.
毎日が目まぐるしく過ぎていく都会より、田舎の方が私には合ってるみたい。
It seems like the countryside suits you better than the dizzyingly busy city.
両親も私が帰ってきて喜んでるし、町の人たちもやっぱり私がいると安心できるとか言っちゃってさ。まあこれでいいかなって。
My parents were happy I came home, and a bunch of the townsfolk told me how relieved they were to have me back, so I figured that things would be fine like this. That reminds me, Chisato's home is actually Kamada Shrine. I can understand that her parents and the villagers would be relieved to have her back, with her being the daughter of the well-known shrine. Your parents sure were worried about you, huh? Chisato-san. I wonder if mine are worried about me, with us separated like this.
うちのは過保護なだけよ。
It's just that my parents are overprotective is all.
可愛い子には旅をさせよって言うし、全然知らない土地じゃないし、おばあちゃんもいるんだから安心してるかもしれないわよ。
After all, your parents know this town. You'll be living with your grandmother, and all kids need to fly the coop at one time or another. They might actually be relieved. And that would be nice if that's the case.
私ね、去年からカラメラを手伝わせてもらってるんだけど、おばあちゃんから聞いてなかった？
You know, I've actually been helping out at Caramella since last year. Did you hear from your grandmother about it at all? No, not at all.
そっか。君のお父さんたちの生活を邪魔したくないって言ってたから、連絡もあんまりしてなかったのかな。
Really now? She did say that she didn't want to butt into your dad's life, so maybe that's why she didn't contact you much. Yeah, that's why we were so surprised when we heard she was in the hospital.
本当にあんまり連絡してなかったのね。
She really didn't keep in contact much, huh? The whole family felt that they didn't want to leave Grandma alone while she was in the hospital. My parents must have felt that it was a lifesaver when I said I wanted to go live at her place.
そうだ。せっかくだからお店の中に入ってみる？立ち話もなんだしね。
That's right. Why don't we head inside the cafe since we're just standing here chatting anyways? Is it okay for us to go in?
ええ、もちろん。休業中だけど、毎日しないといけないことはいろいろあるの。だから鍵を預かってるんだ。
Of course. There's lots of things that have to be done daily even if it's closed. That's why I have a key. Oh, so that's why. Well then, I would like to go in if possible.
わかったわ。それじゃあ入って。
Okay, go on ahead of me. But you have the key. Oh yeah, it's definitely closed. The neatly arranged chairs and tables look so lonely in the empty cafe. When I was little, this place was always packed with lively customers.
ごめんね。今ちょっと片付けてる途中だから。
Sorry, I'm still in the middle of cleaning up. Oh yeah.
先週会った時もね。もうすぐ君がこっちに来ること、おばあちゃん嬉しそうに話していたわよ。
When I saw your grandma last week, she kept talking happily about how you would be here soon. Is she doing well? I wonder when she'll be able to come back.
すぐに退院はしたんだけどね。今まで通りの生活は難しいから、当分は近くのご親族のお宅でお世話になるって。
She was released from the hospital soon after being admitted, but it'll be tough for her to continue life as she did before. She's being looked after by relatives at their place for now. I see. Then what'll happen to the cafe?
お店を閉めて1ヶ月以上経つんだけど、残念ながら再開する目処も立たないし、このまま閉店かもって話したばかりで。
We don't know. It's been over a month since it closed, and there's still no reopening in sight. So far, there's only been talk of closing the store for good. No way.
私も何とかしたかったんだけど、お店も昔からの常連さんが多く高齢化しててね、年々客足も減っていたの。
I would do something about it as well, but most of the regular customers are also getting up there in age and aren't coming in as often.
近くに新しい飲食店も増えて、新規のお客さんもなかなか増えないしね。
Other restaurants also keep popping up nearby, so it's tough to get new customers too. I look around the closed-up Milk Hall Carmela. I had heard from my grandma that this cafe was passed down from my great-great-grandfather long ago. Is it really okay for such a place to end like this? I wonder how happy he would be if Grandma could return, happy and healthy, to reopen the cafe. It sounds like I came here to help Grandma reopen, and others might not be too happy with a relative that's been out of the picture for so long just barging in here. But would it be possible to open for business again?
それはおばあちゃんが復帰できないと難しいんじゃないかな。
Unless your grandma gets better, it's going to be pretty tough. Grandma used to talk about how she promised Grandpa that she'd protect this cafe. That's why I feel like it shouldn't close. If she recovers, I'd like it to continue on.
Asaki-kun.
Asakai-kun? Yeah. Chisato is surprised that I would suddenly say such a thing. Even I know that what I'm proposing is unreasonable. But looking around the empty cafe space, I couldn't keep myself from saying something. Sorry, saying such a crazy thing is so suddenly, when I don't even know how long the cafe has been closed.
そうね、驚いちゃった。
Yeah, you surprised me.
でもお店を大切にしていた気持ちを君が覚えてくれていたって知ったら、おばあちゃんきっと喜ぶわ。
But I'm sure your grandma would be happy to hear that you've remembered just how much the cafe means to her. That sure would be nice. My grandma has been doing well, right?
ええ、とっても。もともと元気な方だから、周りが止めないと朝からお菓子作りを始めちゃうみたいよ。
Yeah, quite well indeed. She's always been a busy bee, so unless others stop her, she'll start baking sweets every morning.
まあでも心配させたくないから、君にはもう少し元気になってから会いたいみたいだけど。
It does seem like she doesn't want to worry you much, though. She wants to see you once she's recovered a bit more first. That sure sounds like her.
気丈な人だもん。女で一つでお店を守ってきたこと、すごいわよね。私、君のおばあちゃん、かよこさんのこと尊敬してるんだから。
She's a strong lady looking after this place all on her own. I really do look up to Kyoko-san, your grandmother. I'm quite proud of her too. I'm sure once she's a bit better, she'll want to reopen the cafe.
それは私も同じ気持ちよ。
I feel she will as well.
でも、お客さんが来てくれない以上、かよこさんが戻ってきて営業再開しても同じこと。
But even if Kyoko-san reopens the cafe, nothing will change if guests aren't coming. A way to get more guests. I'll think of something.
君がカルメラにお客さんを呼んでくれるの？
Huh? You'll get more people to come to Caramella? Yeah. I'll call out to them in the streets or something. I'll think of a bunch of different things. I get that I'm just a deadbeat who doesn't know anything, but I'll figure something out. Even if I'm the cafe owner's nephew, Chisato must be troubled by my crazy request. I don't know how my grandma would feel about things, but I'm currently not in the position to be asking Chisato something like that. We might not be able to stop the cafe from closing, but if what I've said makes Chisato reconsider, even ever so slightly...
あのね、実は私、君に言ってなかったことがあるの。
Actually, there's something I haven't told you yet. Something you haven't told me?
ええ、実は私、かよこさんが戻ってくるまで、君に何かあればって、君とこの店の管理を頼まれたの。
Yeah, until Kyoko-san returns, I was actually asked to look after the cafe, together with you. Is that so? Thank you.
それともう一つ、実はね、かよこさん、この春に君が来たらお店を手伝ってほしかったみたい。
And there's one more thing. Kyoko-san, if you did come by this spring, she actually wanted you to help with the cafe originally.
でも倒れちゃったじゃない。自分がこうなった以上それも叶わなくなったって、かよこさん肩を落としてた。
But now she's injured. On top of that, her dream of working at the cafe with you won't come true now. She must be so disappointed. No way! I'm here now, so I'd like to do anything and everything I can for the cafe.
いい子。それでこそ私の尊敬するかよこさんの孫ね。
You're a good person. You certainly are the grandson of the person I admire so much. You don't need to flatter me so much.
まっすぐな男の子になってて安心しちゃった。都会ですれてたら寂しいもの。
I'm glad you're honest with your feelings. I'd be sad if them city people had rubbed off on you.
君の気持ちは分かったわ。私は君の意見を尊重したいって思ってる。
I understand how you feel. I respect that. Thank you, Chisato-san.
もうそんなキラキラした目で見て。でもまだお店を再開できると決まったわけじゃないわよ。
If you could see the shiny look in your eyes. We still haven't decided that we're going to reopen yet, you know.
専門的なことは私が何とかするから、まずは君が具体的にお店をどうしたいかを考えて方向性を打ち出してみて。
I can take care of the technical stuff. So can you think of how you want the cafe to go forward in a more general sense? How to go forward. Okay. Do you have anything that explains how this cafe was run up until now?
ええ、あるわよ。ちょっと待ってて。持ってくるから。
Oh, we do. Just wait, I'll go get them. I don't know if the ideas of an amateur like me can get more customers, but I want to protect this cafe that my grandma wanted to continue on in the name of my grandpa. So I only have one choice, to try. After she went and grabbed me those papers, Chisato showed me to the room where I'd be staying in from now on. It was the room that my dad used to use back in the day on the second floor.
久しぶりの実家はどう？って言っても、正確にはお父さんの実家なんだよね。
I wanted to ask you what it feels like to be back home for the first time in a while, but I guess this would be your dad's home, right? Yeah, my dad left here when he started university. I did come here often when I was little, though, so it's pretty nostalgic to be at Grandma's place again. Oh, I'm pretty sure I heard that my dad's room is just as he left it when he went to university.
かよこさんに頼まれて少し片付けはしたわよ。でもほとんどそのままにしてあるわ。
I was asked by Kyoko-san to tidy it up a bit, but yeah, it's pretty much the same as it was.
必要だと思うものは揃えておいたけど、何か足りないものがあったら言ってね。
I gathered up everything I thought you would need, but if there's something else, just let me know. To go to all these lengths already. Thank you so much.
いいのよ。かよこさんの頼みなんだから。
Don't worry about it. Kyoko-san asked me to anyways.
ねえ、君はこの町で暮らしたいと思って来てくれたの？
Hey, did you come here because you want to live in this town? Yeah, my parents went overseas, but I didn't just come here because it was the only option left.
それじゃ、この町に慣れて好きになっていけるといいわね。
I see. I hope you grow to love this town then. Thanks. I think it'll be a while until I get used to my new school, though.
新しい環境になるのって緊張するわよね。でも、新しい出会いがあるんだから、彼女とかできるかもよ。
Yeah, it's always a bit nerve-wracking at first, but I'm sure it'll lead to new experiences. Maybe you'll make a new girlfriend, too. Huh? No way. Girlfriend is...
あ、その反応ってことは、彼女はいないんだ。モテそうなのよ。
Judging by your response, I guess you don't have one. You seem like you'd be popular with girls, though. No way. I'm not popular or anything. I start to shake. I never thought this topic would come up. It's not like I didn't talk to girls, or like I didn't want a girlfriend. It just never seemed like there were any girls interested in me. I've never had a crush on anyone either, anyways.
彼女はできなくても、友達ができれば学園生活なんて楽勝よ。まあ、最初は頑張る必要があるけどね。
Even if you don't get a girlfriend, I'm sure things will be fine at school once you make some friends. You'll just have to work at it a bit in the beginning. Yeah, I'm going to do my best to get out there and talk with everyone.
その気持ちがあるなら大丈夫。でも、もしダメだったら、私の後輩を紹介してあげるから安心して。
If you're that gung-ho about it, I'm sure you'll make some friends quick. But if you don't worry about it. I'll introduce you to some of my underclassmates. You don't need to do all that for me. I'm happy to already have you as a friend.
あら、嬉しいこと言ってくれるじゃない。天然なのか、それとも
What a natural. You sure can sweet talk, girl. Or maybe you're just... What? I didn't mean anything by that.
真面目ね。でも、お姉さんそういう子、結構好きよ。
You're a serious one. But I like guys like that. I feel like I might respond to her saying she likes guys like me. But if I did say something, I feel like I'd just egg her on. You keep teasing me, but do you even have a boyfriend yourself, Chisato-san?
やるわね。そんな切り返しをされると、手も足も出なくなっちゃうわ。
You got me there. I can't say anything back. In other words, you're no better off than me, then.
今の私に恋愛はいいの。それよりも君の協力でお店が再開できるかもしれないんだし、そっちが大事かな。
I don't need love in my life right now. More importantly, whether we reopen the cafe is all up to how hard you work, you know. Yeah, you're right. I'll think of a way to get this place back on its feet.
ええ、お願いね。わからないことがあったら何でも聞いて。そうだ、せっかくだからアドレス交換しときましょうか。
Please do. If there's anything you don't understand, let me know. Oh, we should exchange emails.
かやこさんが戻るまでお店のこと以外もいろいろ頼まれてるしね。
I've been tasked with a bunch of other things to do before Kyoko-san comes back too. Oh yeah, well, let's exchange emails then. We best take out our smartphones and trade emails. It's reassuring to see the name of Chisada Kamada in my contacts.
それじゃあ私はそろそろ帰るわね。あ、夕飯は冷蔵庫に入ってるから温めて食べてね。
Well then, I'm going to head on home. Oh, your dinner is in the fridge, so just heat it up and eat. Oh, you didn't make it yourself, did you?
うちで私が夕飯当番だったから多めに作って持ってきておいたの。
I was in charge of dinner at home, so I made extra and brought it over. I see, thank you.
もうお礼なんかいいの。ついでなんだから。それじゃあ帰るけど、何かあったら遠慮せずすぐに連絡してね。
It's just a one-off thing, so you don't need to thank me, you know. I'm going to get going, but if you need anything, don't hesitate to let me know. Will do. Thank you. It was all a given to Chisato, but let me know about how my grandma's doing and how life would be for me here. I'd never be able to tell her just how thankful I actually am. I begin to read the papers on Milk Hall Caramella as I eat the dinner Chisato made. Reading them, I'm able to get a sense of the origin of the cafe's name, the layout, and what type of items were on the menu. It seems like Milk Hall Caramella was chosen because of its calming ring and the fact that it doesn't serve alcohol. My cheeks curl up into a smile at the thought of how my grandparents' kindness was reflected in it. The menu items seem like something you'd find at an old-style cafe, so you could definitely feel its age. I'll have to update the menu a bit. I write down ideas and various points in the notebook prepared for me while giving the documents a quick look over. Okay, I think I get how things are a bit more now. To start, I think making the cafe's name a bit easier to understand would be good. Milk Hall apparently means that the place doesn't serve alcohol, but to those that aren't familiar with the term, it might be hard to understand it's a cafe. And Caramella means garden, in Italian apparently. It reflects the atmosphere of the cafe well, so I think it would be good to keep that part. The new name I've thought up for the cafe is Tea Lounge Caramella. This way it's easy to understand that it's a cafe, but the roots of the name don't change so that regulars and past guests understand that it's the same place as before. I still need to discuss this with my grandma, so I don't know if this name will stick, but if this is a potential way to draw in new customers, then I would try it. I also want to leave the old favorites on the menu, but try my hand at giving them a new touch as well. Ugh. Huh? How did it get so late? I don't know if it was because I was finally able to calm down and collect my ideas, but yawn escaped from me because I was so focused on the task at hand I completely lost track of time. I'll look for a bit longer, take a bath, and then get ready for bed. I think about all that while still reading over the papers, when something catches my eye. I'd noticed it before, but it looks like a note from when the menu was decided. A cup of coffee for a customer's tranquil afternoon, topped with the sweetness of true love's devotion. Could this be something Grandpa wrote out for Grandma back in the day? Maybe they started up Milk Hall Caramella with these thoughts in mind. I flip through the pages with this in my head until I come to a page with photos attached to it. There are many ranging from old to new. This must be from when Grandma and Grandpa were still young. Both Grandpa and Grandma, along with their customers, were all smiles. Reading those words from before and seeing this photo, I realized that Caramella was a place well loved by the townspeople. What a nice cafe. I don't want Caramella to close. Looking at these photos has only made this feeling stronger inside of me. My field of vision sways back and forth, side to side. Oh. I feel my eyelids growing heavy and my consciousness begin to fade away. Maybe I'm remembering something from the past. A memory from when I visited this town when I was little. I think it's from when I went to my dad's home, the place I am now, to visit my grandpa's grave. My parents and grandma talked about what to do about the future of things. They talked about how my grandma being on her own was a concern, if she should come live with us or continue the cafe by herself. I thought that she should do whatever she wants, but because I was just a kid, I had no say in the matter. I went to a nearby park on my own, thinking it would be best for me not to intrude on the conversation. There I met a young girl. That girl, she was crying. You don't need to cry anymore. It's really okay, don't cry. She looked over this way, still crying, almost as if she was scared of something. She was around the same age as me, so I was hoping maybe we could play together? Maybe there was some way I could cheer her up. Hey, I've got something cool to show you. Just wait a bit, I'll be right back. I sprinted off. Without even listening to her response, I ran off to Grandma's house, grabbed a certain something, and dashed back to the park. I returned out of breath. She was still in the park, waiting. Sorry, I made you wait on your own. Who are you? Where are you from? While waiting for me, she had stopped her crying. Even though hesitant, she finally started speaking. My name is... Agisawa Asaki. I'm just visiting my grandma's house, so I don't live around here. Oh, what's your name?
私は
My name is... Just what was that girl's name again?
覚えなくていいけど
You don't need to remember it, though. It's all because she said that I can't remember her name now. She kept glancing at me bashfully.
朝日って珍しい名前
Asaki is a pretty rare name. You think so? Your name is pretty rare, too.
そう
Really? Yeah, it's the first time I've met anyone with that name.
朝日も初めて聞いたもん
It's the first time I've ever met someone called Asaki, too. Oh! I heard a small, cute sound. The cheeks of the girl in front of me flushed bright red as she looked at me.
聞こえた
Did you hear that? Yeah, are you hungry?
違うの今のは違って勝手に
No, that's not it. It was, my tummy just... As if it was resisting the words of the embarrassed girl, the same sound came from her stomach. Perfect timing. You know, my grandma is really good at making yummy desserts. She runs a store.
お店
A store? Yeah, a store that sells tea and desserts. A cafe is what it's called, I think. Do you know it?
近くにお店があるのは知ってるお母さんと行ったことあるとこかも
I know there's a place nearby. I've been there with my mom before. It's probably that store. Have you had this before? I pulled out my favorite dessert, which I grabbed from the house. Grandma's black bean nefuku made from mochi. She'd definitely be happy after having that. But when I tried to give her the dafuku, she looked at me with a troubled expression. What's wrong?
お餅嫌い
I hate mochi. Oh, I didn't know. Sorry.
あのねあんまり食べないからいつもお正月だけで
Oh, wait. Hey. I haven't had it that much. Just at New Year's, so... Oh. Again, I heard that cute sound. It was almost as if it was on cue after looking at the defuku. I took another defuku out with my other hand and decided I'd have one first to show her. Yeah, it's really yummy. Grandma's defuku really is special.
そうなの
Really? Yep, I usually don't like the red bean paste on the inside of defuku too much, but I can eat grandma's because it's so yummy. She continued to stare at me as I answered her and ate more of the defuku. Did you want to try some?
じゃあちょっとだけ
Maybe just a bit. Okay, go ahead.
ありがとういただきます
Thanks. I'll give it a try. She nodded her head slightly, hesitantly, and ever so slowly she put the black bean defuku into her mouth. How is it? Her eyes shone. From that alone, I knew her answer. With just a single bite, you could tell Grandma's defuku was special.
おいしいこんなお餅食べたことない
Yum! I've never had milky so yummy. You can eat yummy stuff like this all the time at Grandma's store.
すごい君のおばあちゃん魔法使いみたい
Wow! Your grandma's like a magician. I'm sure Grandma would be happy to hear that. Is your tummy better now? If you're still hungry, you can have mine too.
もっと食べたいけど大丈夫
Is it okay? I would eat more. I'm glad to hear it.
今度お母さんと一緒にまた行ってみるお餅もっと食べたいから
I'll go get some time with my mom. I would eat more mochi. The smoky dessert you had earlier is called black bean defuku.
豆大福。わかった。覚えとく。ね、お餅とあんこ食べられるようにしてくれてありがとう。
Black bean defuku? Okay, thanks. You know, thanks for helping me eat red bean paste and mochi.
あとね、一緒に遊ぶ？
Did you, want to play with me? Yeah! We had met and played together once, and only for a few hours until the sun went down. But thanks to Grandma's defuku, I was able to make a friend in this town, even if only for a bit. I wonder if she's still doing well. Maybe I'll meet her all of a sudden again one day. Maybe I'm making too much out of it. It's a small town, so it wouldn't be that crazy for us to meet again. So certainly, it should be okay for me to look forward to it. After all, I met her again in my dreams tonight. What? What? I'm confused. Alright, guys. I think that's probably a decent spot to end this first look video at Love Sweet Garnish? Yeah, Love Sweet Garnish. Interesting visual novel so far. The translation seems to be mostly fine. I mean, I've noticed a couple oddities in the translation, but it seems to be a decent translation. I've definitely seen much worse than this. The art seems to be nice. You know, standard visual novel fare. Nice looking art here. The storyline seems... I mean, it's not the most interesting storyline that I've seen at visual novels at this point, but it's serviceable. It definitely has some interesting potential of where it could go with the whole running the cafe thing. But yeah, on the whole, it seems like a fairly decent visual novel. I'd certainly be somewhat interested to see where this is going exactly. I presume to a romance plot at some point. I mean, it is called Love's Sweet Garnish, so I presume it's going to get to romance eventually. That could be interesting. But yeah, I'd say if you like these sorts of romance visual novel things, then this one certainly seems like a decent example of the genre. And yeah, if you guys want to see more of it on the channel, make sure to show your support with a like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. But until next time, guys, I've been CmeeCraft, and I'll catch you in the next video, whether more Love Sweet Garnish or something else. Goodbye.